Okay, a quick word on my philosophy of gear. When you are buying expensive camera bodies, I got the FX6 over there, and the body, what is six, $7,000. A halfway decent lens for it was going to be another couple grand. So I probably spent about $8,000 on a low grade lens. I almost wish I went ahead and just bought the camera body and then took that money towards a higher quality lens. And to get the power zoom lens that I need for the four, if I could do it right here, I got five cameras. Say my wrist is the stage, and I got five cameras. Actually, I'm gonna have six, actually 12 cameras, seven. So that's eight right there. So seven, we'll count, we'll get rid of that one there, is in the room, and my wrist is the stage. So, and then you have another five on the stage. So you're talking a decent amount of investment. When when I can get out of the photography store, when I can get out of whether it's the website or the brick and mortar, I will. And I know when you're talking about a client and you show up with construction lights, the lights that I have at the down here at the bottom here of the on the baseboard, those are $14 at Lowe's, I believe it was. Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm not associated with either of mine. I'll just find whatever I can with get as much bang for my buck. An LED light is an LED light. Okay, now you want the most purest, 50, 5600 Kelvin, when as brightest, whitest uh, as you can get. A good photography light or cinematography light, it's not just how bright you can get it, it's also how dim you can get it. So there's some benefits of buying the professional gear. However, if your budget is tight and limited and you're biting off a lot to be able to stream services or uh, conferences or symposiums, and you need coverage right here, this camcorder, because that camcorder is a camcorder. It just has a detachable lens. This one has attached lens. It's fixed. And a very good one. And guess what? Both the Z200 and the FX6 were worked on by the same team. Very similar. Okay. The only difference is that it'd be great if there was a Z200, full sensor. Sony. I'd buy eight of them. I'd spend $100,000 to have a full sensor in in the Z200s, because they're workhorses. Yes, it's still more of the E&G flavor, but when you're self-engineering and you're in front of the camera as well as behind the camera, um, you want gear that will take care of you. You don't need gear it's got to be high maintenance. Now that's why I want Sony. That's why I only have three micro studio BMD cameras. They're great cameras, but they require someone to be on it. The autofocus is non-existent, as long as I put it up against the with the A10. But if I'm doing a talk right now, I'm talking to you on my iMac. The technology's there to have clean, crisp focus in a 4K situation. So the moment I can get out of the photography studio, the moment I can get out of that is the moment I will. Instead of buying a $1,200 light, I'll go to the hardware store and buy a construction light for maybe 200 bucks with a tripod that's weather resistant and put it behind, a scrim or uh, maybe a diffuser. I'll just say it that way. I won't say the brand. I'm more of a Roscoe guy or a Lee. If I'm in Europe, it would be Lee, but if here in the States, it's a Roscoe. Um, Now, obviously, there's some issues with that. You need better dimmability, but they're making construction lights that are hardy, dust resistant, as well as water resistant. They're not 100%. They can't submerge them, but they're still hardy lights, clean, you know, in the range of 5,600 Kelvin, very bright and dimmable, even dimmable with an app attached to it. That's pretty cool. And they're a fraction of the cost. If I needed dimmed more, okay, this is what, two stops? So there would be 4 times darker. Do another one, you know. So if you're limited in buying your gear, I highly recommend you, uh, once you can get away from the photography store, whether it's website or a brick and mortar, I highly recommend doing it. If your clients are snobby and they can't understand that you are actually well educated in your craft and your trade, and that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on one light because it's the same LED light that you can get at the hardware store, then maybe you're not meant for each other. It's ridiculous. So, all right, so that's just my philosophy on that. Once you can get out of the photography store and start fabricating, creating things, do it. Spend your money on a good camera body like the FX6. Well, let me go over there. There you go. Uh, and then if you're doing live events like I will be doing, holding meetings, I would get the Z200. It'll take care of you. There's some training you got to learn on it. Um, Another point is battery. These gears chug power, a lot of power. So what do I do? Right over here, these are two EcoFlows. When I power this up, it'll trip us the circuit breaker in the apartment. Something's weird going on. It shouldn't do that. But the only thing that's hooked up to the grid are my lights. Actually, this is protected by a surge protector. I have a Amarin. What's it called? It's like a big old round light, pretty good light, but it's fragile. I'm not going to take that out in the field. I'll go to the hardware store and grab some lights and go that route. But these can power my full gear, all 12 cameras. Excuse me, I only have 7 cameras right now. The goal is 12 cameras. And the ATEM Extreme. I'm using the Black Magic right there. You can see it right there above my finger, as a converter for I got a little TV that's just a 1080p TV as for a confidence monitor. Um, all of that, I could be on that 5-6 hours. Now the connectivity is the issue, but the goal is to have every tripod will have an EcoFlow at the base of it, and it will power the battery. Excuse me, the camera. I'll always keep an extra battery so I can hot swap, and just in case I had to swap that out. I like to get at least a 7-inch monitor for each camera for the camera operators. Uh, this is a nice 5-inch, but 7 inches is better in my opinion. This helps the camera operators see more detail, as well as to be able to tap into the camera itself to adjust the settings. So, because you can't do that unless you have with the ATEM Extreme, you can only do Blackmagic design cameras right now, unless you have a third party plugin. So, yeah, save your money. Don't blow your money on a bunch of gear that you don't have to. Get the best body that you can get, and then go from there. If you have to, go to the hardware store, grab some lights there. Be creative. A righteous person will appreciate that out of you. All right. Peace. To be continued.